destroy the team. And it looks like the April Pittsburgh Pirates might have made a cameo. We'll talk about that in this live post-game edition of Locked On Pirates.
You are Locked On Pirates, your daily Pittsburgh Pirates podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Pirates podcast here in the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team, your Pittsburgh Pirates every day. And we are live here on Twitter. We're live on YouTube with over 1,000 subscribers, may I add. We had a very fun time with that. And the Pirates had a very fun time tonight as well. The Arizona Diamondbacks 13-3, and they have now beaten 3 opening day starters in the last 4 days in Zach Gallen, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Kyle Gibson. And wow, I was not expecting this from this team. I was not expecting this from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And they're now 24-20. And over the last 2 games that we've seen on Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon and now Friday night, the April Pirates made a cameo in May, folks, and some of you guys are rolling in already. Of course, Key Brian Hayes says Keller over Gallen. We will see Mitch Keller in this series, I believe, on tomorrow, actually, against one of the rookies that the Diamondbacks have. Harperman, usual live stream guest, says raise the Jolly Roger. There was no doubt about it. Also, I unfortunately don't have a Pirates fun fact this time, but hey, winning makes up for it. Yes. Well, a Pirates fun fact is they've scored a lot of runs against some opening day starters from these teams, 16 to be exact, against Kyle Gibson, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Zach Gallen tonight. Zach Gallen, they actually only credited him with 5 earned runs allowed, which I found very interesting because I think he had 8, but MLB.com is probably wrong in that scenario. But Johan Oviedo, I know the offense exploded tonight, but Johan Oviedo was also a very welcome surprise. He's kind of taken a dip from what we saw in April from him. But now you see 6 innings pitched, only allows 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 3 walks. He has a good day. Dwayne Underwood Jr. leaves the game with right elbow discomfort, so it looks like the bullpen's going to get a little bit of a makeover with the return of Big Z, and I would expect a Cody Bolton to possibly come back into the fold now. Eric says raise it. Of course, we're raising it tonight. And this was just, I was talking for the last about week or so about this, and it was something that the Pittsburgh Pirates have needed. They just needed a big game, and they've now gotten 2 back-to-back big games offensively. They scored 8 runs on Wednesday night. They scored 13 runs tonight. They have favorable pitching matchups over the next 2 games as far as ERA is concerned. Carson Kelly's actually pitching a little bit pretty well. But we'll see what happens. Any rash, immediate thoughts that you guys have? That's why I'm live today. This is not an episode format. This is just a post-game show to talk to you guys, talk about what we saw from this Pittsburgh team tonight. So I want to hear all of your thoughts. I want to know your questions. I really liked the mailbag episode questions today. That was a very nice thing. Tasha says, this might be the last time we ever see Dwayne Underwood Jr. pitch in a Buccos uniform. It's very possible, especially if this is a serious injury. It's something that I could still really see. Harperman says we may still be a game back of the NL Central crown, but we're still in the wild card race. Very early to talk about that still. It's the middle of May, near the end of May, but it's a good spot for them to be in. And if you would have told me before the season started that the Pirates would be 24-20 at this point on May 19th, I would have probably laughed at you. I knew that they were going to be a more competitive team, but I didn't expect them to be like this, where they were just going to flat out take over games. And that's what we saw from this team tonight. We saw them just flat out take over this game, and it was very nice to see. Eric says it's encouraging, missed the middle innings, all the runs, but so encouraging and exciting, very much so. Harperman says if we make the wild card, we must chant all the opposing pitchers' names, then we'd win the wild card for sure. Well, we tried that 3 times, and it worked the first time, but it didn't work the other 2 times. I love watching Kutch play. I think everybody does, man. Looking at the box score, which is fun. What happened to Dwayne? Right elbow discomfort is what it believed happened. You look at the box score, though. 3 different guys with 3 hits: Ke'Bryan Hayes, G1 Bay, and Andrew McCutcheon, all with 3 hits in this one. Brian Reynolds added 4 RBIs with 1 hit. Jack Sawinski, 2 RBIs with 2 hits. Palacios had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. The contacts, baby, go back and watch that episode with Josh Palacios. It's a very fun episode to watch. Where we talked to him when he was in AAA, and then he got called up just a few days later, got his first couple of hits in a Pirates uniform tonight, and they were some pretty big ones, if I may add. Carlos Santana had a hit. Tuca Peter Marcano had a hit in this one. Austin Hedges was hitless. Rodolfo Castro didn't have a hit in his plate appearance. Chris Owings did not have a plate appearance. So that was pretty much all we saw here. Again, Dwayne Underwood Jr. struggled and was removed from the game with an injury. He gave up 2 earned runs on 1 hit. Johan Ramirez and Colin Holderman both came in for the rest, and that solved that. What arm do we think comes up for the pen to replace Dwayne Underwood Jr.? Probably Cody Bolton. That would be my best choice because we just also saw Colin Selby go on the IL. So I would assume Cody Bolton would come back up. I think he's something that we would expect to see that we've already seen. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest because it also makes the most sense. So I would expect that. By the way, guys, again, I still can't thank you enough for 1,000 subscribers. Very, very happy for that. I am very, very grateful for all of you coming in here. Tasha says, any predictions for the game tomorrow? Well, it's Mitch Keller on the hill, so I expect a much lower scoring outing. I can't the exact position of the pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks tomorrow. I know he's a rookie, but I think he'll bounce back a little bit and have a better start. Mitch Keller is on a tirade right now, and I think he'll do usual Mitch Keller things that we're accustomed to over the next couple of weeks. So I'm expecting like a 4-3, 5-4, 2-3 kind of game. I think it's going to be a closer game. I would think the Pirates win still, just with the way Mitch has pitched lately. And it would be nice to win because it would be their first series win in quite some time. But I do know it's going to be pretty low scoring. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And maybe we'll even go post-game tomorrow, too. We might make these post-gamers a little bit more of a regular thing. Again, they're not going to be episode format. Like, you're not going to hear the ad reads. You're not going to see a lot of that stuff. But you guys seem to enjoy these a lot. So I'm going to start doing these for you more often. Harperman says, you deserve all 1,000 of your subscribers. Thank you, sir. Palacios looked good. Yes, he did. It helps when you put contacts in. And that was straight from him. That was not from me. That is straight from Josh Palacios. He sat there and said, I put contacts in. I had a different mindset. All that good stuff. So much more fun to do the post games when we win 100%. It's a lot more fun, but also when you lose, you do start to kind of break things down a little bit more. Obviously, we're a lot more excited that the Pirates won this game the way they did, but if they would have lost, I mean, honestly, sometimes the best coverage that you'll get from people like myself and any of the great reporters that do work for the Pittsburgh Pirates is when they lose close games, because that's usually when you see the team at its most competitive, or when they win close games. It's always the close games. Game like this, they went 13-3. There was a position player on the mound late. The Pirates dominated this game. That's the takeaway. But you look at other things that can the offense just finally woke up. And we talked about Ke'Bryan Hayes and one of the questions that we got about his offensive stuff that he's been dealing with. And he just looked phenomenal offensively tonight. And I think this was a big stepping stone for him as well. Unrelated, but the impossible happened. Oakland has 10 wins this season. Yeah, the Athletics are they're interesting. And there's some players on that team that if the Pirates are in a good position near the trade deadline, there's some players on that team that I wouldn't mind taking a look at to bring over here to Pittsburgh. But I don't know. More thoughts, guys. More thoughts. I've given most of my thoughts. The offense erupted. It's something I've been asking for. Johan Oviedo looked really good. The Dwayne Underwood injury is unfortunate because the bullpen's going to get another makeover. Thoughts on Oviedo tonight? Saw he debuted a two-seamer and thought it looked great. Not sure if the home run was hit off of his four-seamer or two-seamer. I think the home run was hit off of his four-seamer, but it is nice to see him debut a new pitch because that shows that he's willing to learn new pitches to be a starting pitcher in this league. Do I ultimately think that he's going to profile as a starting pitcher long-term? I don't really know. It's one of those things that'll just depend on how he performs. But I thought Oviedo looked great tonight. It looked more like April Johan Oviedo rather than what we've seen in the last couple of starts. But the starting pitching is there, man. It's there, and I'm enjoying it a ton. Also, sorry I came in late, so you might have already answered my question. Dude, I don't know. It's fine. I like the questions. If I re-answer the question, it's perfectly fine. It is also 10:15 here, guys. I've been up really late, so some more rash stuff. Give me your predictions for the game tomorrow. I'm predicting a 4-2 Pirates win tomorrow. I think Mitch Keller has a masterclass game again in his books. I think we see David Bednar get a save tomorrow night. I think the offense still has it in high gear despite not scoring as many runs tomorrow. I don't expect them to score 13 runs again unless they have a Colorado-esque outing. But yeah, I mean, I just want to know your guys' thoughts. That's what I'm here for. I do this stuff for you guys. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I mean, just happy, dude. They needed this so bad. This rendition of this team is so much better than what we were watching over the last couple of weeks. 0% chance of it happening, but they bring back Drew Maggi for merch. Nah, I don't think they do that. Feeling 7 innings of 1-run ball from Keller tomorrow, 10 Ks. Take it to the bank, dude. I mean, I'm not here to tell you otherwise. I mean, Mitch Keller has done unworldly things lately. I'm not going to tell you that he's not going to do that. 10 Ks might be a little high against this Diamondbacks lineup. It is a good Diamondbacks lineup, but I mean, I could see him easily in the realm of 6-7 or 6-8, and 7 innings, sure. 7 innings, and then I think you bring in Holderman. Holderman pitched the 9th, but I still think he'd be good to pitch tomorrow. And probably Robert Stevenson, another guy that you probably see tomorrow, and then I hope we see Bednar. You're going to see Bednar in this series for sure. Yeah, I mean, it happens. If Dwayne Underwood Jr. goes to IL, who gets called up? Would you have picked Selby, but he just went to the IL himself? Yeah, that's who I would have picked, Michael. I would have picked Colin Selby in a heartbeat because he would have been a very good arm to have, but I would say it'll probably be Cody Bolton. I've also said Cody Bolton's name throughout the entire part of this live stream, so let me make sure that I'm not being an idiot because I don't think he's on the roster right now, but he might be. Did they send him back down to AAA? Did I miss that transaction? I don't think I did. Come on, guys, get the likes up. Okay, thank you. The new Pirate generation getting some good stuff to watch. Yes, it is. I'm very happy for some of these young kids that are going to get to watch. Thank you, Tasha. Yeah, so Cody Bolton, Mike, would be the guy that I'd pick. I've said it throughout the whole live stream that they've already seen him come up. He's already done decent stuff up here. There's no reason not to bring him back up now when you clearly need the arm. And that's the thing with the bullpen. Everyone smash the like button on the stream. You guys are doing the work for me, man. Jeez. Yeah, I think he would come back up. Other names that I would throw in there, I don't really know any other names that I would throw in there. There's probably some random arm that they could bring up. Osvaldo Beto, maybe, but I don't think the timing fits. He profiles more as a starter anyway, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in the bullpen. Who else is there? You're not going to see Priester. Don't worry about that yet, especially not in the bullpen. I wouldn't be mad if they went out and is Tyler Chatwood still over there? I got to look at the Indianapolis Indians roster. You guys are like seeing – I watch the minor league teams every once in a while, but keeping up with a lot of these transactions is very hard. CM. Who are we talking about, Michael? Sorry, I'm like all over the place. Cam Aldred would be a guy that would be nice. Again, I mentioned Cody Bolton. Ryan Baruki, Yark would be ecstatic. Yeah. Majinski, you guys are naming some good ones. Yuri De Los Santos, a guy that we saw last year, wouldn't be another bad guy. Kent Emanuel is another guy, but he's not on the 40-man. So you want to probably look at guys that are already on the 40-man roster. The guys that includes are Cody Bolton. You're looking at Yuri De Los Santos. You're looking at who else is on? Eli Villalobos. That is another guy that Craig actually mentioned earlier. How has Yuri been doing? Yuri's been doing all right. I think he's doing fine down there. Again, he's been kind of just in that bring up someone with a real fun to say name because why not? I mean, Yuri De Los Santos would it be? Eli Villalobos, or God damn it. Excuse me. I always forget how to say people's names sometimes, especially when I'm up this late. But I'm going to click on MLB.com here. And of course it doesn't give it to me. But he's having a bad year. But, I mean, he's another guy that you could at least think about because he is on the 40-man. Also, who from Oakland would you want to bring off in a trade? Paul Blackburn. There's one. Paul Blackburn's a guy I would take immediately from the Oakland Athletics as a starting pitching option. Brent Rooker, if they want to move off from him, he's having a very phenomenal year out there right now. I mean, Brent Rooker, 100%. Yeah, dude. I mean, Brent Rooker is a guy that you have to look at as a potential option. They're going to be moving off of everybody. Speaking of, Rooker's at bat right now. Ramon Liriano, if you want to add to the outfield group, he's fourth on the team in home runs right now with 5. Jace Peterson. I would look more at their pitching. You're looking at J.P. Sears, Ken Walt. Well, they're not going to move off of Ken Waldichuk or Kyle Muller. James Caprilin is another guy. I think that any of their pitching that's not their young prospects that they've picked up, I think is guys that they could look at. But I would ask Jason Burke. I'll ask him tomorrow at some point, maybe some options that the Oakland Athletics would be looking into. But again, the Pirates kick off the second part of this game, the series tomorrow. Mitch Keller's on the bump, so good chance that they win tomorrow night. Guys, I am very exhausted. But again, thank you all for coming out as you always do. My name is Ethan Smith. Have a wonderful Friday night. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Check out all the content that we're going to have starting on Sunday and Monday. Picking Cruz, Tasha. I had this conversation earlier. Cruz or Langford are my top choices, but if they go Skeens, I won't be mad. But guys, thank you so much. I'm going to go get some sleep. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much. Good night. See you on the flip side.